I just got off 2 days of hiking with students. I almost quit multiple times. Before the trip, oh my gosh, if you've never taken 160 kids hiking, middle schoolers, 7th and 8th graders, public school, all the crazy, all the wonderful, the lead up is insane. I'm glad I didn't quit though. Thank God I didn't quit. We ended up taking 160 kids on a 2.5-mile hike. They went 500 feet of elevation, gain and lost. There was some slick spots. It was an actual hike. They got to have lunch, and we got to have a campfire and roast marshmallows. The kids got to bring cameras along and take pictures along the way. We were using the Merlin Bird ID app to be able to identify birds. It was incredible. So much parent help was involved. When we were around the campfires, I think the biggest thing that stood out to this hike, and my favorite part about this hike, is that it's kind of an end cap. In our program, we do a hiking trip in the fall, and then we wrap up the year with a fishing trip in the spring. And we get to do these things because of the community that I'm in, and because the students want to be a part of it. They do such a great job. My favorite part is that community around the campfire. Man, when you get 13, 14, 15 middle schoolers around a campfire, some of them, that's all they do. Others, they've never been on a camping trip before. They've never had a campfire. And you get to have that roaring fire going. Kids are roasting marshmallows. They're burning marshmallows. They're laughing. They're engaged. Those are the moments that you see how worth it is to give these kids these visceral moments that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. Some of these kids will never do this again. And I'm so blessed to be able to offer this to them, and that they are willing to trust us and trust me to take these guys on the trips. We normally run it where we have like 14, 15 kids in a group, 2 parents. We normally will have a parent in the front and the back, and that kind of helps line everything out. And then the kids seem to end up taking on the role of kind of guiding the whole group, using maps and using the different trail markers to take them from point A to point Z. It's incredible. If you have loud kids, if you've got quiet kids, if you've got people that have done it before, this is a neat place to allow people that maybe aren't leaders in the classroom. Man, when you get them out in nature, they're the ones that are leading. They're the ones that are quiet, and they're listening for birds. They're the ones that pick up that map and they can figure it out and follow it. It's incredible to see who ends up being a leader in a real world environment like that. Man, but prior to the trip, it's an organized chaos. But once we get to there, we get settled in, the kids are on the trail. It's amazing to see who their real personalities are and their truthful personalities are. One of the incredible parts is when I get to talk to the parents. The kids are around the campfire. Really, with this trip, I'm at the central hub, and then the parents and the kids are off about doing their different trips. And be able to talk to the parents on this trip, you get to hear a different tone from them and their appreciation for being able to offer something like this. One of the things that stands out is that when you set the tone correctly, the kids get to be quiet in nature. And how often are we in a public school, or are we in society quiet in nature? What a blessing to be able to offer these kids that. It's an incredible opportunity. If you've never taken a kid on a field trip, if you've never volunteered for a field trip, I encourage you to jump out, volunteer to help set up a field trip. Find opportunities for your teachers. If you are a teacher, it's the hardest thing you're going to do all year, but oh my gosh, is it worth it for the undertone that you set and the bar that you set, the commonality that you build with your peers so that everybody has a common experience you can draw from that's real. They get to see you more as a real person. They get to see you and experience you for a longer period of time. They get to experience their friends that are in their groups for a longer period of time. Field trips are the hardest thing to do in the world, but it's amazing if you take the opportunity to actually do it. So take a second, figure out how to incorporate that into your curriculum, and go and pursue it. It's incredible.